So today we're going to talk about the power of data, and data is incredibly important. And I think a lot of small and mid-sized business owners have the opportunity to use data, but they ultimately do not. And so let's talk about how data is being used in big businesses and small businesses for the betterment of the business. So I'm first going to show an example, which is Instagram. Instagram, this is an article from The Atlantic. Instagram was first called Bourbon, Burbn, and we talk about this in the Recession Marketing Guide. And we like Instagram because Instagram was started right at the depths of the Great Recession back in, I believe, 2010. And within about 2 years, they sold to Facebook for $1 billion, which at the time seemed like a lot of money, but in retrospect, it's played out enormously as a value contributing member of the Facebook portfolio. But Facebook or Instagram started out as an app called Bourbon, and their original purpose was to compete with Foursquare. And if you remember Foursquare was the app where you could check into a place like a salon or a restaurant or even your employer's office. And if you check in enough times, you could become the mayor. So like there's this place called Katsuya in Encino. I was the mayor of Katsuya because we kept having lunches with sales reps, and my recommendation was always Katsuya because it was great, fantastic sushi. It still is great, fantastic sushi. And I checked in so many times I became the mayor of Katsuya. And apps would or retailers would provide discounts or coupons for their best customers, the ones who became the mayor. Anyway, so there was a glut of apps that were sort of trying to compete in this space, and one of those apps was Bourbon. And the story goes that Bourbon, as I quote in The Atlantic, was not terribly successful. The app was too complicated. There were a jumble of features. It was often very confusing. So the folks at Instagram or Bourbon looked at the way that the app was being used. And so they doubled down on their data. They began studying the use of photography on the app. So you could go to a location and share photographs of the location that you're at. The finding, and this is the quote, people weren't using Bourbon's check-in features. They were using the app's photo sharing features. And this is the quote from someone, Sawyer. He says, they were posting and sharing photos like crazy. So we know today that Instagram is ubiquitous for photography and social sharing of photography, but then it wasn't in the earlier days of Instagram and Bourbon. But what's interesting is they used data to become a massive company. They focused in and tripled down on what was best. Now let's look at something that is very current. And what's current right now is Amazon. So this is Amazon that is now getting in trouble. This is a current article. This is April 23rd. Amazon is allegedly using sellers' data to make competing products. So the core idea is if you sell any product on Amazon, Amazon fulfills on it. They see the sales. They see the number of sales. They can aggregate category or industries or any sort of way they want to filter the various types of data for different types of products and verticals. And they're using that data, which appears to be illegal based on all the everything that I'm reading, to design and price in-house products. So they have full purview of what other merchants are selling, and they're pricing their products probably less than competing merchants and creating similar types of products, looking at features, etc. Amazon is always going to be about the data. This is clearly illegal, or it appears to be illegal. What is interesting, though, is that I read that grocery stores, who, as you know, when you shop at like Ralph's or Kroger, there are homespun brands of various products like oatmeal and quinoa and whatever cookies. There's always the house brand, and you know that the house brand cookies or quinoa or oatmeal are developed by studying the pass-through, the flow-through of products that are selling or not selling on the store shelf. So I think Amazon is going to argue that they're deploying the same practices that are established and accepted by grocery stores. And now I'm going to show data from my own campaign, which is incredibly important. So to give you an example of companies who have done this past, a big company in Amazon that's doing this currently, and a focus on our data right now. So this is an advertising campaign that I'm running where I'm targeting different audiences. So I'm targeting agency titles. I'm targeting Facebook business page admins. I'm targeting people who are interested in publishers, so digital advertising and marketing publishers, and also business publishers. So, for example, this would be people who are interested in Ad Exchanger and Digiday, and also Entrepreneur and Inc. and Forbes. This is anyone who's categorized as a small business, someone who's a business owner of a small business. And these are agency titles. So these are people who are marketing director, senior marketing director, vice president of marketing, digital advertising, so various titles related to advertising. And it's very clear what the data shows us. The data says that I'm getting the most leads on Facebook, 178 of them, off of this agency titles data. So if I want to maximize the heck out of this campaign that I'm running, I'm going to focus more of my energy on agency titles. What I'm not showing, and on purpose, is the cost, because we don't get into a lot of cost data here. The cost for this is actually lower, but the challenge is this is the one that's scaling. There's always going to be a supply and demand issue, right? Like there's always going to be a very, very low cost way of getting some leads, good quality leads, but there's just not a lot of them at that level. So if I want to scale up, I'm going to have to pay incrementally more to get those leads. And that's what's happening here. Facebook has determined that the agency titles targeting that I'm doing is the one that's getting us the most business leads. And we're getting anywhere between 10 and 15 business leads a day. And the core idea here is get people into our marketing funnel. And some of these people, when the economy rebounds, or even now, they're going to want to work with us for some marketing and advertising initiatives. I'm not looking for this to be an immediate turnaround. I am not looking for this to become a lead today and 3 days from now they want to sign up for a $20,000 advertising campaign. They don't know me. And I'm giving them an opportunity to know me so that when that happens, we push forward. Separately, I have various targeting elements with videos. So it's the same targeting, but different assets, etc. So I want to share this with you because data is so incredibly important. If you have data in your business, if you don't have data in your business, you should start collecting data, and collecting the data with the purpose of understanding some points of information about your business. When we run campaigns, we often look at age and gender. So like, do men over 35 or men under 35, does your product or do the ads resonate with that audience, for example? But it could be a variety of things. Messaging, ads, video versus JPEGs or static photos, landing pages. There's a whole slew of different tests, and the tests never end. So I want to use data to make decisions to make the best use of my advertising and marketing investment. By the way, before we go, just a reminder, I am the host of the LA Business Podcast. It's a fantastic forum if you want to grow a business. We hear from senior business leaders talking about how they grow and scale their businesses. Download our full recession marketing guide or get the free version. I'll post a link below. And please like, subscribe, and share with your friends and family and folks who need to know how to better market their business to survive this incredible recession that we are plunging into. Talk to you guys soon.